I climbed the 29,000 foot elevation gain of Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. And in this video, I'm going to share the exact reason why and how I did this. With Mount Everest being the tallest mountain in the world at 8,800 meters or 29,000 feet, and most commonly known for being the tallest mountain, which is why people climb it so frequently. So me being at the age of 21, but not having hundreds of thousands of dollars in equipment to go to Mount Everest and actually do the dangerous job. I have a local mountain here called Grouse Mountain. It's actually just right over there. I can see it from my balcony. And this mountain is about 800 meters. So if you climb 800 meters 11 times, that gives you 8,800 meters. Luckily, Mount Everest is 8,853 meters or 49 meters. So the last 50 meters, I just kept going up and down for the last little bit to achieve that final elevation gain of Mount Everest. So with the mountain that's here locally, there's an event every single year called the Multi-Grouse Grind, which means you start at 4 a.m. and you go until 10 p.m. to get as many possible repetitions of this 800 meter climb as possible. And just know it's about 1.8, maybe 2 kilometers in distance and 800 meters in elevation. So it's super steep. You're really just climbing stairs all the way up, and it really sucks. So going into this event, this was 2023, I had just come off of doing multiple marathons. I did the Vancouver Marathon, and then I did a bunch of self-paced marathons. I think like 5 marathons in 5 weeks. And I had also just done Ironman Victoria. So I had quite a bit of stamina. I was quite lean, quite conditioned, but I wasn't ever really good at climbing because I didn't train legs in that period of time. The main thing I had going for me here was that I had plenty of time on feet with different endurance events like the Ironmans and marathons, but never anything in terms of elevation because I hadn't done very many hikes or mountain stuff. So being unfamiliar with what it would take to climb nearly 9,000 meters of elevation gain in 12 and a half hours. All I brought was a pair of running shoes, a couple changes of shirts because it was a wet, cold, kind of rainy day, and ski poles to help myself climb up the mountain. So my climb began at 4 a.m. I brought a headlamp, but actually it ended up being dead. I didn't charge it in time, so I was just in a group of people that had headlamps. Luckily, the sun came up around 5:30 a.m. So by the time I was finishing my second climb, I had already been able to see because of the natural sunlight coming in. And leading up to this climb, I had a pretty strong mentality of it's time to go to war. You know, I've done a lot of these different types of events, but you kind of have to lock in the same way every single time. So I have a video of me, it's almost like pitch black. And I'm looking at the camera and I'm going, it's time to go to war. Getting ready. Going to war. So that was kind of the mentality going into it. First 2 climbs were amazing, easy peasy. That's when your body's like fully prepared for whatever is yet to come. It's almost like a warm up. So 2 climbs, no problem, on to the next. One thing that made a really weird contrast is like when you jump that many meters of elevation gain at the bottom, it's kind of warm, it's more relaxed. It was June at this time of year, so it wasn't like cold. But then as you get to the top, because we were below the cloud and at the top you were in the cloud, it was really wet and humid and rainy. So this weird contrast of like being down below and you're warm and you're kind of sweating, and you get to the top and it's wet and cold, and then you're not sweating anymore, but now you're wet from the actual cloud. So it was this really weird feeling of like body's not really used to what's going on here, but we're just going to keep going. So then climbs 4 to 7, it was all pretty smooth sailing. I'm really just trying to put as many carbs down as possible. I had these gel packs. I got a bunch of rice as well. There was a sushi place nearby, and there's actually a photo that we'll put in the video here of me and my friend Daniel, who's an absolute savage. He did 13 climbs, so he had 2 more than I did. And he's actually the one that invited me to this event because he does the grouse grind very frequently. And it's a funny photo here of us struggling and suffering just as we're getting to the top. But yeah, 4 to 7, those climbs were pretty good. I would say that's when I started to really feel the pain and start to suffer. I knew that I was there for the whole day. That's kind of how you prime your mind and you condition yourself to understand that this isn't going to be something where you just finish it and go home. It's like you're there for the entire day. You're going to suffer. You've signed up for this. That's what's going to happen. There's a sign at the quarter-way mark that goes, "Congratulations, that was the easy section. Now comes the hard part. The trail gets steeper and narrower from here, so do an honest check-in. Are you feeling tired? Have you used up all your water? Are you lightheaded or dizzy? This is the best place to turn around. Beyond this point, downhill travel is not allowed." And this is hilarious because this first quarter mark is like fucking pretty tough. It's not easy, and it's actually more than a quarter. But they put the sign here to plant a seed of doubt into those people that are unfamiliar with the trail or that don't think they can get it done and it's their first time. Maybe they're second guessing themselves. And the really funny thing is that I would pass this sign so often, you know, by like the 7th or 8th climb, I'm like, there's that stupid fucking sign again, just planting seeds of doubt in people that are here trying to do something good for their health and challenge themselves, but ultimately end up turning around. And I saw so many people turn around because of this fucking sign. And that's all it takes is one seed of doubt, and it grows into this gigantic failure that you can't do what you set out to do. So I saw this and I actually made a story on it about how you will have times in life when you're going to doubt yourself and when it's tough and there's a lot more to go and a journey that's long ahead of you. But that doesn't mean you should be quitting. That doesn't give you a reason to fall back on the goal you've set for yourself. And it's a good metaphor for life. You're always going to have these signs pop up, but if you set a goal for yourself, then get fucking after it. Don't stop at the first sign of hardship. That doesn't make anything great. Greatness always comes from doing the hard shit and the suffering that nobody else wants to do. So, funny little story there about the sign. Another thing is, I'll put the clip in here as well, but it's just a video of me climbing up. I'm hucking away. This is probably climb 9 or 10 by now, and I'm just like so exhausted, so fatigued. My body is really just trying to shut down. But I'm just telling myself, I feel amazing. I feel like I just woke up. This is the best thing ever.
Are you feeling tired already?
No, I feel like
Used up all your water, lightheaded or dizzy?
No, I feel fresh. I feel like $100.
Perfect.
Like I just woke up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You look great.
Thank you.
No sweat stains on that sweater? Wow.
Yeah, you look really good too.
Thanks.
Good job.
Yeah.
And you can actually see me climbing past the sign and speaking those words because that's the self-talk that you need in moments when it's so difficult. That's ultimately going to get you past that next barrier and the next barrier and just keep overcoming those obstacles. So that self-talk was really powerful for me. And that's kind of, it's funny. One of my buddies, Sam, he told me that I gaslight myself into doing hard shit and that I feel good about it. But that's ultimately the trick. That's how you do hard things, is not by saying, oh, this fucking sucks. This is so hard. I don't want to do this. No, you tell yourself and you self-talk that you're feeling good. I feel awesome. I can accomplish this. I'm great. I've done this before. And that's ultimately how I've done a lot of the hard stuff that I've done, from the Ironmans and the marathons and the Everest and Grit Day and all these different things. So I was coming off of quite a big high from the Ironman and the marathons, and there's never a moment when you do something like this that the high fades away and gets less. It's honestly just as up there as any other time, and I think that's because you're putting in so much hard work before finishing what you set out to do, that it's never going to be diminished or taken away from you. So I finished my last climb, the 11th climb, which was arguably the hardest, because that's when your body's like ready to shut down, you're almost there. And then eventually it was 8,800 meters, and I had to, there's a video of me, I'll put it in here, I had to run up and down a couple times to get the last 50 meters. And then the photo here shows my final ascent time, 8,853 meters. And the sun was setting. It was the most beautiful time. I was so happy. I knew that I ultimately would get it done, but you still have to go through the work and through those little seeds of self-doubt and the small signs that come and creep and tell you, oh, can you actually do this? And ultimately I got it done, and I felt really, really accomplished, really happy. And during that time, I had also planned a trip to Europe. So I finished this. I did a 50K hike in the mountains to kind of build up my endurance, and then I went off to Europe, and I celebrated by just being with my girlfriend, being around friends, taking some time off, and then came back, and that's when I started doing more crazy shit as well. And I'll leave the video with this one last piece that I've learned from all my endurance events and all my suffering, and that's why I'll never give up what I do, is that the mind gives up long before the body does. Your mind's going to be telling you, oh, I can't do this, but the body has so much more in it than you possibly think. We've literally had people run hundreds of kilometers in one go, climb the tallest mountains in the world, the 13 peaks. If you ever watched that documentary, it's fucking phenomenal. So why not you? And I'll leave it with that last piece of the video. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, check out the rest of the videos on my channel. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.